Hi, I've just been sent this, and it's lovely when you get sent things to review. Obviously, if I get sent a looper, I'm quite happy. But this thing intrigues me because it's got a lot to offer, and it doesn't cost a lot. I've done the cheap model things before, but this thing looks potentially like it could be a really good looper. Let's get it unboxed. I'm going to plug it into my system. I'm going to take it through its paces. This is the Circle Looper by Donna. So, here's the box, and a nice little pattern on the front, and it's a special box. This is the Circle Looper guitar effects pedal, and blank on the sides, and then just a little bit of bump from the back there. So, let's get this open. Circle Looper guitar effects pedal. Oh, right, okay, so we have a cable, USB to micro USB, yep, and then that's holding that in place, and there's the looper. Quick look. Okay, let's move that out of the way. So there's the looper itself. We've got memory, level, fade out with the looper, and then recording on the looper. And on this side, you've got select volume and BPM for the rhythm. And then this is our little screen here. This is the merge button for merging these two sides together. And then this is your stop, play, clear, and also stop, play again. I'm taking it that that's for the looper, but then that's also for the rhythm. So there is a bit of cross there. We'll have to figure that out. On the sides here, we've got our inputs left and right and our external control jack. And on this side is our output to our main PA or mixer. And then on the back, yeah, there we go. We've got our USB for our cable there, and we've got our DC in. Oh, we've got two little stickers. There we go. We've got a little Plectrum sticker and their logo. And then we've got our product register thing, which every company has now. And then we've got our user guide.
Okay, so what we've done is we've put the Circle Looper plugged into the TC Helicon Voice Live Player Acoustic. I do a thing called dual mono looping, but to quickly explain, I've got my microphone and my guitar plugged into the TC Helicon, and they're coming mono out, so the left is the microphone and the right is the guitar, and that's going into the Circle Looper. You kind of have to ignore the left and right part. They're just two mono signals that are now going out to the speaker, which you can now hear. So this is the microphone mono, and this is the guitar mono. Now when you look at the Circle Looper, you have to think of it with a line down the middle. So on the right hand side is all the rhythm section stuff, and on the left hand side is the looper. Right at the back, we're on memory number 1, and you'll see very quickly that when I start looping, then it creates a circle, and that's why it's called the Circle Looper, and it has this little icon that goes round. So we're in record mode, then we go into overdub mode, and we're in play mode. Let me show you that. So straight away, you could see it was recording, and it gives you how many seconds it is. Now, I've got it stopped at the moment, and then as we were doing dub and playing, you could see that icon going round. Now, I can overdub many, many times, and if you want to undo, it's the same as pretty much all loopers. You hold down a button for 2 seconds, it undoes it, and then you hold it down again, and it redoes it. So there's our undo, and here's our redo. So that's a one-phrase looper. It can undo, it can redo, and then you can delete it. But on the top, there's 2 dials there, and those dials are also buttons, and you can get to 3 different things. You've got the memory, you've got the level, you've also got fade out as well. So if you click on one of them, we can get to the volume. It's set at 0 dB right now, and you can just use that dial to turn it and change the volume. And the next one is fade. Now it's set at 0, so if I stop it, it stops instantly. If we change that over, I think it can go up to 5 seconds, and it can fade out when you press the stop button. Let me do that now. So we've set it at the maximum for now, so let's start that loop again, and then what we'll do is we'll fade it out. that's a nice little effect. It certainly has a curve on it towards the end, but it's a nice little effect to add on. Now going back to memory for a second, there's 40 memories on this looper, and one thing I've found with other loopers is if you by accident knock up a memory and then knock back down again, you've lost the loop. This is the other way around. So if I go up a memory and knock it by accident, if I go back down a memory, that loop is still there, which is really, really useful. Certainly in a live environment, mistakes can happen. You could knock that loop by accident. I've done that with other pedals, and that's it. The entire loop's gone because it doesn't save it. You haven't written it to that memory. With having this auto save feature, it's a real lifesaver in a live environment. Now to completely get rid of the loop, what you'd have to do is hold down the very middle button underneath the little display, and that is also the merge button to merge the rhythm with the loop. We're going to get rid of this loop completely and then use memory 1 for the rhythm section. Between 2 and 3 seconds, hold down, it says clear, and it's gone. So the lights at the top show you what you've got selected. So if it's on the left hand side and it's blue, it's the looper, and if it's red, then it's the rhythm. So now we're in the rhythm section, and you can see it says pop, and there's loads of different rhythms to choose from. It's set as 4/4 to begin with, and each style has 10 grooves. So at the moment we're in pop, and there's 10 pop grooves. When you're in the rhythm section, the buttons change slightly. So on the right-hand side is how you start your rhythm, but on the left-hand side where you would normally start a loop, that's actually your BPM. So you can start clicking that beforehand to get the BPM you want, and then hit it. Now the other two options for rhythm is selecting a rhythm. There's also volume, and there's also the BPM. Now I've turned the volume down quite a bit because it seems to blast through my speakers, but let's have a listen to some of the different ones. That's actually a really nice metronome. That's nice, I like that. The other thing about that metronome, it's not a bleep, blop, blop, blop. You know what I mean. The other thing we've just done is I've just gone up to memory 2 just for a quick demo. And this is for the rhythm section. When you go through the rhythm section like I have, you'll notice that the tempos are all different. And they're there just to show you a demo of what that beat would be like. But I just want to show you what it's like when you personalize it yourself. So let's use the very first one, which is pop number 1. And I'm just going to change the BPM. To do this, all you do is you're tapping on the left bottom button. As soon as your foot makes more than 2 taps, the BPM comes up on the screen. Leave it for a couple of seconds, and then that goes away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the rhythm section and the looper actually work independently. So you could create a loop, and then you could create a drum section, and they could be completely independent. If you want them to work together, then the button in the middle, underneath the LCD display, you just have to tap it once. Now it's gone green. What that means is the rhythm and the loop will actually marry up. This changes things again. So the buttons at the bottom now, if I press to record a loop, it'll actually give me a 1, 2, 3, 4 kick in. So for this example, I'm using funk number 4, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press to record a loop, but this time it's going to kick me in. So as you can see there, I did different things depending on what you're using. So the two top buttons become really important. So if you're on the looper and you press stop, it's going to stop the looper and the rhythm. So if you're on the looper mode, which is the blue one, and we press this button here, which is the start stop, it's going to start the looper and the rhythm at the same time. I can stop both at the same time as well. That's another nice thing as well. When you're using the rhythm, you press stop, things still carry on, which is nice, like cymbals. It doesn't just cut off. I quite like that. So if we're just on the rhythm section, I can just bring the rhythm in, even though I've got a loop recorded. So we're on the rhythm section now. Obviously on the right-hand side top, you can see the red icon there. If we press this, it'll bring the rhythm in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on the loop side and then bring the loop in. One thing that you have to be aware of is it doesn't pre-roll it. When you press it, it goes back to bar one, beat one straight away, no matter where you are, unfortunately. But if you can get your timing right, you can bring it in almost like an intro. One thing that's also really cool as well is that it still remembers the undo redo. So let's go to a different memory. So I've literally just knocked it down to memory 40 just for a second. I'm going to put it back to memory 1. It says memory 1 recorded, and it still remembers the undo redo for that, which is really, really useful. Not only has it remembered the recording itself, I haven't had to save it myself. It just does auto save. But let's just play it, and I can still do undo redo. So imagine you're creating a verse, and then you add some harmonies on. You could take those harmonies off, put them back on again. You could save an entire set list like this. I do undo now. Just remember that, which I think is great. So we can do our verse, sing over the top of our verse, bring our chorus back. Let's finish with our fade out. So there we go.
So what do I think of this? Well, I like it. I think it's brilliant. I love the colours. I think whoever designed this was seriously into Tron. And I love the fact it's just like white and this lovely turquoisey blue colour. It's stereo in with an external control, which is great. You've got your looper on the left side and you've got everything to do with the rhythm on the right side. It's really simple, and the control in the middle, you just press that to merge the rhythm with the looper. Downside wise, these knobs are plastic, but they've got a nice click to them and a nice internal click as well as you cycle through the different options. But yeah, they're plastic. I could see me pinging that off if I kicked it too hard in a gig. These are metal and these feel really nice to actually hit. They're at a good space between each other so you don't kind of misfire between the two pedals. It's a one phrase looper, but that's what it's meant to be. It's not a multi-phrase looper. You're not paying for a multi-phrase looper. And talking about pay, and that's the thing I haven't discussed yet, this thing is pretty cool, and it's £73 from the Donna website. Yeah, £73, or around about 83, 84 euros on the Donna website. Now, the other thing Donna have done, which I didn't realize we were going to do, is they've set up a code, and the code is on the screen now. It's just my name. Use that in the checkout, and you're going to get 5% off this.
So you're already going to get 5% off something that's £73. And this thing is punching its weight way above the £150 mark in my eyes. The reason I say that is older loopers are 16-bit. This thing is 24-bit by standard. So it's a higher quality looper right from the get-go. Now the rhythm section might not be to everyone's taste. And I think this was kind of designed a little bit with the RC10R idea in mind, but the drums aren't obviously like the drums of the RC10R. You've got things like a verse, a chorus, a bridge. You can section the drum patterns out. This is 10 musical styles with 10 grooves for each one, which is 100 patterns. And it's got 40 presets. I know a lot of them all got 99. I've never used 99 presets, if I'm honest. 40 is way more than I need, and I think that's perfect. It's got 160 minutes of internal recording time total, and it's a 4-minute limit on the recording time for each loop. Oh, another thing as well, USB. Before I forget, the USB plugs in and you can get your loops directly off and on this looper over to a computer, and it's nice and simple. It's just basically which slots. So you've got 40 slots, and then you can drop loops in or take loops out. My only tiny gripe, and it's the tiniest of gripes, with this is I wish it had a battery option. It'd be nice if you could take that busking with you, or you just want to take it without having to plug it into 9 volts. But it is the standard 9 volts plug. If you want to plug it in, and you've got a daisy chain for your pedal board, then you shouldn't have a problem. So a big thank you to Donna for sending this out to me. I think it's a great little looper, and as I say, I've got a link in the description box below. It is an affiliated link, which means I do get a little bit of money my way if you are picking one up, but at no extra cost to you. In fact, you're going to get 5% off if you use my name in the checkout. So that is the Circle Looper by Donna. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.